Good evening. Greetings to one and all gathered here. It gives me an immense and warm pleasure to welcome you all to the Biotalk series version 2.3. Last week, our Department of Biotechnology had successfully conducted the Biotalk series version 2.2 on the topic nanotechnology in food preservation. Today, in our midst, we have an eminent person, Mr. Mohammad Aris Sohaib, who is going to speak on the topic entrepreneurship and career options in biotechnology. Now, I call upon Dr. Renuka Vishwanathan to give welcome address.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the management and the Department of Biotechnology, St. Joseph College of Engineering, I am delighted and pleased to welcome Mr. Mohammad Sheikh Harris, Regional Accounts Manager, South India Division, and Rocks, for the BioTalk series version 2.3 on entrepreneurship and career option in biotechnology. I'm also proud to say that he is an alumni, graduated in the year 2012. I'm also happy to welcome my fellow colleagues of the department for the session today. My warm welcome to the student fraternity for their participation in this webinar. I am sure that this session will be very helpful to them. Now, I request the head of the department, Dr. G. Kumar, to deliver the inaugural address. Once again, welcoming you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam. Good evening, one and all present here, my dear students and staff members. Hope everything is going fine and safe in your place. I'm happy to see you all again for this virtual BioTalk lecture series version 2.3. Actually, today's biotech program is an Alumnus Connect program by Mr. Mohammad Harris Shoaib of 2012 batch. As a matter of introduction, let us share some credits about our college and department. St. Joseph College of Engineering has grown to a level of NIR of ranking with a 160th position, with 27 years of high reputation, having NBA and NAC A+ grade accreditations. Recently, we have received autonomous status also, which will be implemented from forthcoming academic year. Our biotechnology department is in the teenage of 19 years and having BTech, MTech, and PhD programs in biotechnology with 139 university ranks and 10 gold medals and 7 silver medals with an 100% pass percentage all the time. We have more than 1.2 crores of government funding for conducting academic research. An alumnus is the nurtured one who was loved, cherished, and had in high regards and affection by us. Every student who passes from biotech department would have surely achieved their dreams and made a positive impact to the community. An alumnus is an asset to the institution, also is an ambassador for our biotech department in the sense that he gives something back to enrich the institution in terms of experiences shared or expertise involved or volunteered, etc. Indeed, it's the greatness of the college can be measured by its alumni value. Connecting to one's alma mater is always a great feeling to know about the various achievements of its former students after leaving our college. You can share your own experiences and become mentors for the generations to come. Because you are there already in a so-called real world, your opinions would be highly valuable to the current students of our college. Although you may not be physically located in St. Joseph campus, we still keep you as a valued part of biotechnology family. Mr. Mohammed Aris, distinguished alumnus of 2012 passed out. He was an inquest disciplined student. You can now also notice his dress and hair, with which you can very well understand its value. A student of regular college days itself, he has shown an inclination towards the growth, and he was highly enthusiastic in developing himself and the department together, which resulted now he has become as a marketing and technical field professional in a multinational companies. He would be sharing his views and experiences and job opportunities and higher studies opportunities, etc. Let us listen to him and perfectly align ourselves towards facing the real world. We'll be asking him to play a large role in the coming years too in all our endeavors. On behalf of the patrons, Dr. B. Babu Manoharan, Chairman, Madam Jessie Priya, Managing Director, Mr. Sashi Shekhar, Director, Dr. V.S. Rao, Principal, and Dr. Paradavardhini, Dean, I welcome the speaker, Mohammed Aris, and all the participants for this today's BioTalk lecture series. I wish to congratulate Madam Renuka, HOD Lab Affairs, and her team for being instrumental in organizing this session. Now I ask the student coordinator, Mr. Alfred Francis, to give a brief introduction about the invited speaker. Over to Mr. Alfred. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Mohammed Aris Sohaib has completed his bachelor's in biotechnology at St. Joseph's College of Engineering and joined as a research intern in Ford's India Pharmaceuticals, Chennai. And then he became the quality engineer in the same reputed company, worked in the quality control department and R&D to carry out the quality procedure and material testing. After which he has worked as a senior sales and marketing engineer in Merit Medical Equipment Services in Muscat, Sultanate of Oman, where he has been an eminent person in business development by sales of medical equipment, installation of equipment, and periodic maintenance by coordinating with the service engineer. He has been a key person in providing innovative business development strategies and expertise in laboratory analyzer and controls, EQA programs, MRI contrast, dermatology, high stimulators, etc. He is a certified community immunity ambassador for COVID-19 program for Mohammed bin Rashid University of Medicine and Health Science, UAE. Currently, he works as a regional account manager in Randox United Kingdom Company, Chennai, under business development for Randox Toxicology and Randox Bioscience Division. He is considered to be the focused professional with 5 years of commendable sales success in biotechnology, biomedical engineer, and pharmaceutical industry. Last but not the least, he is an elite alumni of our department batch 2008 to 2012. Sir, it is an immense pleasure to have you here with us today. I request you to take over the session. Sir, can you kindly unmute your mic, sir?
Good evening. I hope you can hear me loud and clear.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Thank Renuka ma'am for actually contacting me and giving me an opportunity to speak, and I am really thankful to Shri Kumar sir also for having me do this talk to the students and help them in their opportunities and their career guidance. And thank you, Alfred, for organizing this particular meeting. I'm really glad to see all all my teachers, and it gives me a great and immense pleasure to see and speak to them after a very long time. So, and as Alfred has given a short introduction to me, and I wouldn't waste time on giving again an intro to myself. I would directly go on to a very short presentation, and I would like to keep this as a little interactive session so that you can ask me a question as and when you are during the presentation. I'll be more happy and glad to answer them, and I'll be presenting, from my career experience over the past years as to why I did not go into an IT company, and I was adamant to go into a biotech industry, and today where I stand. So thank you, everyone, and I'll just start off the presentation. So beginning with the presentation as the topic, entrepreneurship and career opportunities in biotechnology. Starting, I would just want to give a very gist on what biotechnology is. As everybody, is into the biotech field, so you already know what biotechnology is. So I wouldn't give, a detailed explanation, just overview for, as a startup. So according to the American Chemical Society, it defines biotechnology as the application of biological organisms, systems, or processes by various industries to learning about the science of life and improvement of value of materials and organisms such as pharmaceutical crops and livestock. Biotechnology is a very vast concept which expands from biochemistry, molecular engineering, genetic engineering, protein engineering, bioprocess, chemical engineering, and so on. It is a very, very huge, part of science or a discipline of science where, every division is interlinked. So it is just not, concentrated to these what I've mentioned. It is a very huge division in itself, and each of these divisions in itself is a super specialty. So biotechnology has also played an important role from the beginning of time, right from the time of man. Biotechnology has played a very crucial role. From early days, biotechnology has been used for fermentation to develop antibiotics, and including I would say to an extent that even animal husbandry or crop development, right from the beginning stages of life, it is a part of biotechnology, and it has played a very eminent role to shape the future, to shape the human organisms and human beings, and to see the evolution process in itself. So today's biotechnology has various applications that includes development of new methodologies, process from detection of pathogens to development of life-saving drugs to advancement in the quality of, to the advancement in the quality of food. So as you see, you have varied applications of biotechnology today. 10, 15 years ago, it was still under development stages. But today, as you see, biotechnology, everybody knows about biotechnology, and you have lots of research that are being funded for biotech. Lots of people who are carrying out research to develop new drugs, to find out new possibilities of food enhancement, to detect pathogens, to detect drugs. So it is a huge field, and happy that people are choosing biotech now. The importance has been seen in the world in current situation as COVID-19. People have known what is the importance of biotechnology. Otherwise, if people were just considering biotechnology to be, lab oriented and, just, a group of scientists doing some kind of reactions or developing something. But today, as you see, every part of life, every step of life has been actually a crucial role from the biotechnology itself. So moving on to biotechnology in India, so I wouldn't concentrate on the biotechnology elsewhere, because it is a very developed field. But in India, it is still developing. So I would still show a little focus on Indian biotechnology. So Indian biotechnology is one of the leading sectors in the world. As for the present situation and the current situations, it is one of the the most leading sectors. And Department of Biotechnology, DBT, along with many government institutions such as BIRAC, have initiated various programs to increase and participate and to bridge that research institution industry. So there has been gap previous years, and where the industry was at a different level, research institutions were at a different level. So there were now the industry has understood the very importance of having an integration with the research institutes, to collaborate with colleges, to collaborate with organizations where they fund for biotech, to help the industry grow, to get great minds not to leave the country, to have them here to develop this industry in India itself. So many biotechnology, small medium enterprises have started over the past 10 years. To be very honest, I have myself seen a huge growth in India to the number of companies who are, starting up as biotech companies have become, a huge. I mean, for past 10, 15 years ago to what I saw and to what I'm seeing now, it has been a tremendous increase in the number of companies that have started as biotech. So biotech SEZ, special economic zones, have been initiated to help establish these biotech companies. So government itself has allocated lands, help them with policies to set up biotech industries, to help them develop products, to help them market these biotech products. And many foreign direct investments have been initiated, especially in drug and pharma sector. So India is allowing FDIs from foreign countries. For example, if you see right now, COVID-19 itself, AstraZeneca has actually made the COVID vaccine, and they have given that particular formula to the Serum Institute. So there are foreign direct investment that have been initiated from the government itself to develop the industry. Crop improvement programs have also contributed significantly to the agriculture sector. So a lot many crop improvement programs. Right now, what I see the current trend in the biotech industry for agriculture and food is actually hydroponics, because and pesticides. So many biopesticides have been developed, hydroponics, where they have helped to develop plants and crops without the use of soil by just putting them in nutrient mediums, growing them on large scale, helping farmers cultivating in areas where, like deserts, you can literally grow strawberries and apples in a controlled environment using hydroponics. So it is a huge application right now, and there's huge scope in the biotech industry. And many.
Harris?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you moving the slides? We are able to see actually.
You're not able to see, ma'am?
Yeah. It's just held with the first slide.
Because right now I'm in biotechnology in India slide.
Yeah. Now we are able to see. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry for that. So many Indian medical biotechnology companies have also established their presence in the international market. So I know right now so many biomedical companies and biotechnology companies that from India who have made a huge global impact, and there are many companies abroad that are literally buying from India itself. Now, career opportunities, as you see, I've made up a short a cycle where you can see biotechnology, and you have varied allied sciences. So you have medical science, you have environmental science, animal science, pharmaceutical companies, microbiology, quality control, biochemistry, biostatics, forensic sciences, toxicology, pathology, clinical research. So you have wide, huge range of opportunities that can actually help you take the path that you wish to take. And right now the scope is so great that if you are willing to have the passion to actually go into the biotech industry with the field of your desire and choice, you can very well go ahead, work on it, and I'm sure you will definitely succeed on it. So as you see, it is just not limited to a few groups of like initially it used to be like genetic engineering or molecular biology and fields like this, but today, as you see, it is just expanded to every part of science. So biotechnology is literally like a focal point right now. I would like to share a little bit on my personal career experience since we are talking on the careers in biotech. I'll be quite honest. I had been I was a very few among the students who actually rejected the offer for after getting into an IT company. I got my placement offer, and I still remember I went to Mr. Sri Kumar sir the next day, handed him over, and sir, I'm rejecting because I'm really wanting to go into the biotech field. And he advised me, and he told me one thing, that you will definitely succeed in life because the passion that you have, because of that, you're making a huge step and decision. I'm sure you will be succeeding. So I wouldn't suggest to all to do that, but if you're really passionate to go into an industry where you have spent 4 years of your life learning concepts, learning spending your time doing research, and then finally you go into an IT company or any company not of your field, it doesn't make sense. So if you're really passionate on what you really want to do, please go ahead and keep yourself, have that confidence in you, and you'll definitely come up. So I have worked as a research intern in Force India Pharmaceuticals in their QC and R&D department, and later on as a quality engineer. It is one of India's top 5 to top 10 companies in pharmaceuticals, and I was happy to get into their R&D department, learn on how to how the process of medicines are made, and then I was later on in the QC department where I learned how the quality control program works in the pharmaceutical industry. And it was a very great experience because when people talk on the pharmaceutical or biopharmaceutical industry, this is something I would suggest everybody should have at least an internship done to know how the process actually works from an industry point of view. And though we would have definitely learned in biopharmaceutical subject in your 7th sem. What the theory is, real applications, you will definitely find it out when you are actually doing an internship in such companies. And later on, I actually moved on and deviated my field to from pharmaceutical to medical biotechnology. So I went into sales of medical equipments, and it was a very startup company. I joined there. I was the first employee, to be honest. Me and my director, we started off the company, and we had a lot of hurdles. Yes, we did have, but later on, with the passion that I have, I literally initiated with laboratory division, radiology division, surgical physiotherapy to buy equipments, to buy quality control, to sell lab equipment. So I was single-handedly into doing this. So it gave me a very good and a great experience in the medical field too. Now at present, I work as a regional account manager for a company it's a UK-based company called Randox. We are among the top 5 companies for laboratory analyzer manufacturers in the world, and we have a global presence across the world, and we are the #1 company in the world for the quality control programs. And at present, I handle the toxicology, bioscience, and food diagnostic division under me for Randox to South India. So I just want to give you a short intro to what my current company is. So it will help you to know from an international company point of view what divisions they are having, what you can see yourself in the coming years to where you want to work, probably in the laboratory side of it, probably in the sales and marketing side of it, or you want to go into the service side of it. And you take up any division, you will be in a part of the biotech itself. So Randox was established in the year 1982 with its headquarters in Crumlin, Northern Ireland. Since its establishment, Randox has already diversified, in the fields of health, clinical chemistry, toxicology, molecular diagnostic, quality control programs, and many more. And Randox has over 150 patented inventions across biochip and their analyzers, biomarkers, antibodies, drugs of abuse, and food diagnostics. And we had recently started, last year, Randox testing services, where we provided to the United Kingdom and to their national health policy for RT-PCR test. And we were one of the very few companies in the UK to have certified from the UK government to run RT-PCR and to do genomic sequencing for the strains to find out the strains when the samples are tested positive for. So by 15th of May 2021, we had passed almost 13 million tests within the UK itself for the UK COVID-19 national testing program. And we had actually, we are right now a part of even national health policy of United Kingdom, where the Prime Minister Boris Johnson has also accredited and credited Randox to their services to for the RT-PCR and for our molecular diagnostics. I would just, want to give you a short intro and, and explain to you what actually we are doing in Randox and how biotechnology has actually played an important role, because this is actually a biotech company which was started. Dr. Peter Fitzgerald is still the, he's the CEO. He was the one who started the company, and he still attends the company at the age of, I think he's 85, 86 years. So you can see how passionate he is about the field of biotechnology, that he's still working in the company. Many of them retire at the age of 50, 60 once the company has touched millions. But today also we see him in the office. So the basic concept, what they have introduced, and this was a patented technology which Randox had developed, and it is, we are the market leaders to testing facilities for all the kind of tests that you see in a laboratory environment, in clinical toxicology, and for food. So this was a biochip array that was developed by Randox and their scientists. So the biochip array technology is an immunoassay testing program. So what happens is this, in this particular, one second. If you can see out here, you have the biochip over here as a carrier, and you can see an extended menu. An extended screen out here. I'm just trying to get the pointer, 1 second. Okay, I'm not able to get the pointer, sorry for that. So if you can see out here, you have a biochip that is actually, having these spots, if you can see, embedded onto the biochip itself. So what are these spots? So what happens is, when you are doing a test, for example, you are doing a test for respiratory tract infection. So you have many viral infections, such as your norovirus, you have influenza A, you have influenza B, you have enterovirus, you have rhinovirus. So you have many viruses, and to do individual tests and to find out what kind of a virus it is a huge cumbersome process to a lab, to the end user who is actually testing, and to find out what kind of a pathogen. As you all know, it is a huge process. So what we did was, in Randox, they had actually embedded different type of antibodies for the different, I would say, analytes, or I would say different antigens in a particular sample. So for example, if you see, I'm just increasing this slide 1 second. Is everybody able to see the slide now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, great. So if you
not in a full screen, sir.
It's not coming full screen?
Yeah, no, sir. It's not in a full screen, sir.
Do you see it now?
Yes, sir, I see the screen, but it's not in the full. Like, it's not, the PowerPoint is not in the full view.
Okay. Sorry for that. So there is some issue in the sharing. Okay. Anyway, no problem. So what you can see is we have it is a multiplex system wherein a single biochip can be used for generating multiple results. So what happens is, each of these biochip is actually labeled with antibodies out here. So for example, one of the discrete test region, if you see, is labeled with an antibody for influenza, another influenza A, and another discrete region is actually having an antibody label for influenza B, another test region. So we have different spots. So in one biochip, there are 49 spots, so of which 44 are labeled with the antibodies specific to a particular antigen, and the remaining 5 are correction spots for the quality control. So what happens is, when you actually place the sample after adding the assay reagents to it, the particular antigens present in a sample, for example, influenza A, all the antigens will bind only to the influenza A antibody in the biochip. And if there are no other antigens, if there are no other viruses, it will just be empty. And there, it is a chemiluminescence reaction. So you have another, you add horseradish peroxidase and luminol solution, and which gives a chemical reaction, and light is emitted, and you will see, and there's a camera, CCD camera, charge coupled device camera, that will detect these signals and convert these light signals into concentration. So it is a very basic technology, but the application to it is so huge that labs have literally, cut down their costs of running. They have cut down the time of results has been shortened. So it was a very niche technology that the Randox had developed, and we are right now the market leaders for this kind of technology. So you can see how biotech, from the basic things such as antigen antibody reaction of a sandwich immunoassay, has actually helped grow a company from a scratch to a multi-millionaire company. So you can see the amount of opportunities that you can do to yourself by joining a biotech company, and to to choose a field of your interest in the biotech itself to develop your career. So with the division that I actually handle right now for toxicology, we have the toxicology department was started in the year 2012, once they saw the potential of the toxicology and the drugs of abuse that are being developed. So we have here the same multiple the BioReachEp technology that can be used for detecting and quantifying many drugs. And we have over the world's largest toxicology menu, which can actually screen more than 500 drugs and metabolites, and samples such as blood, urine, fluid, oral fluid, postmortem blood, meconium, that is the a kind of a substance that is present when the child is born, vitreous humor, tissue, hair samples. Huge sample menu matrix we have for quantification and detection of drugs. So I'll just give you a gist of what the application of the BioReachEp technology. As you can see over here, just a small portion of the biochip array has different antibodies pertaining to different drugs being embedded. So when a sample, say an oral sample of blood or a hair sample is taken, extracted, and the solution is added, and if the person has actually been using drugs, it can be detected, and there's no cheating that he has not used, because it is a clear antigen antibody reaction and it is specific to that particular drug. So you can see the drug being showing positive, and they will be easily and they even go in for quantification once the tests are tested. Once the drugs are tested positive. So this is one of the implications that we have from the toxicology department, and applications to it includes to the forensic labs, to these research institutions, to police departments, CIDs, narcotic control bureaus. So we have a huge potential of customers just for drugs of abuse testing. And to the Randox Biosciences, which I handle, this will be of interest to you, because this is more of molecular diagnostics. So the same principle of BioReachEp technology we have used for scientific drug drug discovery, drug development, and diagnostics. And the applications of this particular BioReachEp technology has been to life sciences, pharma sciences, research, and molecular. And we offer a very complete tailored solution for clinical and research use. So we are supplying to pharmaceutical industries, life science research labs, to clinical laboratories our solutions for testing. And we have over an extensive range of 400 biomarkers for arrays for routine and esoteric testing, for a broad range of therapeutics, which includes for cardiovascular and cerebrovascular, metabolic and nutrition, immunology and infection, and oncology. So we have different panels which have biomarkers for testing, and it helps the lab in reducing their costs, running time, helps in easy diagnostic, faster diagnostics. And you have many times doctors prescribing antibiotics to the people who come with just common cold without knowing what type of viral infection it is. So we provide in a particular panel of 22 pathogens, which includes 10 viral, 10 bacterial, and 2 fungal. So with which you get a complete profile once the doctor actually tests a particular patient for their for the disease, and instead of just prescribing random antibiotics, he can literally know what kind of a viral infection he's having, and just prescribe the dose for that particular infection. So because many times there's a lot of antibiotic resistance has been developed right now in the world, and that is a huge problem that we are literally facing. So we have even developed multiple COVID-19 kits to assist both lab and general public. So my the question is like, are you literally forward to seeing yourself take a career in biotechnology? So before you take a choice in your career, because since you are still at a stage where you can decide what you want to do, just ask yourself these following, would you actually work as a scientist or an entrepreneur or even a professor? I would not say, even professor jobs are really amazing because they impart the knowledge. They are literally the founding and they are the building blocks of what we are today. And even I'm really thankful to all my professors, teachers, and I really from the bottom of my heart thank them, because to what I am today is only because of them. I tell it very proudly. So taking up even a professor's job in the field of biotechnology doesn't mean that you're just teaching kids. You will be a part of research. You'll be part of knowledge development to yourself and to the students that you will be teaching, and it is a continuous learning process. So there's never an end to an education system for biotechnology, at least, because every day there is something new that is being developed. I myself learn a lot every day when it comes to on field experience when I'm saying in the field of biotechnology itself. So decide as what you want to be. You can choose whatever you wish to be. So, and the next question, ask yourself, what is the field of your interest and what you are planning to achieve them, and and what are your plans to achieve them, and how do you want to achieve them? Because this is very important, because if you are going to go into a field which you are not interested, probably you might take it up in the beginning, but after some years you might regret, you might be stagnant. So take up what you are interested, because that is what is going to be a pushing force to you to go and move ahead in your life, to take up and plan your career. So, and definitely please do have a proper plan on how to achieve them. Have you probably want to do your MS, and after MS you want to get into a research institute, you want to take up a job. Have a proper a realistic plan. Write them down, note them down, because every path of it is going to be challenging. So you should have a plan, so that once you are according to your plan, you will definitely stick to it. If you are just wanting to go into an industry with no plan or with no interest, it will sound initially good in the beginning, because you might be earning something which you might not have imagined, but then later on in life you'd be stagnant. Then the next question, ask yourself, what options do you have kept to overcome the career block in your desired field? For example, to myself, I'll take an example of myself. So when I actually got an offer from the IT company, I rejected it the very next day. I was adamant to go into biotech industry. I had a plan, of doing my master's, but unfortunately I couldn't do so. I had to make myself flexible. I joined a pharma company, as you see. I had certain career blocks there. So again, what I did was, I did not stop myself there. I moved on to medical biotechnology. I know it was a huge grade. I flourished there, and from there today I have reached to a next level. So please have keep options, so that you can actually overcome a career block, because tomorrow if you have a block in your career, it shouldn't be, you should never regret. So try to overcome that particular block in your life to move to the next level. And I'll be very honest to myself, being in biotech, I have literally experienced various fields. I've my final year projects were in leather industry. I have done my college time research in nanotechnology. I have worked right now in pharmaceutical industry. I've worked in a medical equipment in medical biotechnology company. Now I'm working again for a molecular diagnostic company. So you see, I'll take example of myself. I have literally, just because I had a basic basics from the biotechnology, I was able to get into any field of biotechnology. So keep that particular option to overcome a career block in case if you're having. And the last but not the least is your, how sustainable is your career option in long run. Definitely, you have spent a lot in learning Initially you might be wanting to just go into research, just want to go into something of your liking, but on a longer run, make sure that you are actually getting something out of it, because it shouldn't be a burden to you. It shouldn't, when you look at your colleagues or when you look at your friends where they have come up in life, you shouldn't feel bad or you shouldn't be dejected or pulled down. So make sure that whatever you are choosing on a longer run, please, it should be sustainable. You should be able to sustain yourself first, and then you can do whatever you want to. So always, the last option is what I say: have a 5-year plan or a 7-year plan to see where you can. To see yourself where you can be in those years. So then plan your career right from the college days, as you will have many opportunities from the college to develop your skills and have a strong base for the basics learned from the subject. So this is very important to all my students who are present in the presentation. Please, take up the right from your second year itself. If you have not decided, please, you can plan your career right from your second year itself, because you will be into the core subjects of biotechnology, and you will have many opportunities from the college. You will be able to go to, do presentations, you'll be able to do your research, and a college is so, our staff is so excellent that, if you have an idea and you really wish to go and do research, they will be definitely guiding you. I have done my, small research projects right from my 3rd semester itself. So you'll be getting many options, and learn your subjects right from the basics, because what you learn in the college is the basic fundamental, which will actually help you in your MS programs. It will help you in your PhDs, and these are the basics that will not be taught anywhere else. So you need to learn your basics. For example, in my field itself right now in Randox, so you see sandwich ELISA is, sandwich immunoassay is nothing but a basic immunoassay technology which we have learned in our molecular biology, and today that itself is an application in the real life industry. So, learn your basics very well, and if you're able to join internship and training programs, please do, because that is what will help you understand what the industry or the market requires in terms of a product or a service that a biotechnology company can offer, which is very important, because you can do many internships and training programs, but if it is not related to what you are wanting to desire and what the industry requires, you'll be just having certificates to it, but not actual application. So please, take proper internship and training programs. You have many. I remember having training programs from the IIT and MIT itself in IMA, in instrumental method of analysis, and these are the things that can help you. And even in nanotechnology, there are certain programs that are being offered. So when you're having free time, please do learn them. And always remember, this is what I say, even it's actually, even I tell myself the same thing, face difficulties with positive mindset and be confident on achieving your goal with a flexible plan. So, in case you are having a hurdle, make sure, it doesn't mean that you're not able to overcome. Try to be flexible, move around your plan, see if you can, if not this, there's something definitely next to it. So don't stick to what you have just decided. Try to be flexible to achieve what you have already destined or desired to be. So let's move on to the next slide. So career options are huge, and if you are really wanting to go ahead and take entrepreneurship as a career, it is also an excellent choice, because today what I see, many startups in which have from the biotechnology have actually made an international presence. So according to, I've just got a small data which I from India Brand Equity Foundation report, that India is among the top 12 destinations for biotechnology worldwide, and industry itself is greater than having 2,700 biotech startups and over 2,500 biotech companies, and you have 665 FDA approved plants from the US itself, and 44% of the global new drug applications are from India. So you can see how India itself has become as a center to the world in terms of biotechnology. And Indian biotechnology has amounted to almost USD 63 billion in 2019, and the forecast, as you see, it's the double one, almost 150 billion by 2025. And biopharmaceutical is the largest segment that has contributed almost like 58% to the Indian biotechnology market in 2019, followed by bioagriculture, almost 19%, bioservices for almost like 15% in 2019. And moving on to the types of entrepreneurship, you can be, people when they say entrepreneurship, it looks like as if you're starting up a company, you're being the CEO or the managing director, running the show. Yes, that is also one type of entrepreneurship. But if you see, there are actually different levels of entrepreneurship, different segments of entrepreneurship. So the first would be a business entrepreneur, who is an individual, conceives an idea for a new product or service, and then creates a business to materialize their idea into reality. So this is something, as startup. So you form a start, you start up a company, you have an idea for a product, you approach for funds, you develop that particular product, you market it, and you get your returns on investment. So that is a business entrepreneurship. Industrial entrepreneurship is product oriented individual who starts in an industrial unit because of the possibility of making some new product. This is basically, you join any an R&D company, you have an idea, you tell them you want to partner with them, you sign in agreements in regards to the product that will be formed. You give them the idea, they help you, they provide you the instruments to develop your idea. So you can be an industrial entrepreneur in itself. Corporate entrepreneur is the person who demonstrates innovative skills in organizing and managing a corporate undertaking. So this is basically, a little high level when you are, from the, you have different stages. So basic, mid-career, then you have mid-level, then you have advanced, and then finally when you reach to the level where you can actually, run an entire company. You could be a corporate entrepreneur. You could be taking up down the line in 10 years, you could handle 5 to 6 companies. People will literally ask you for your skills for in decision making or negotiation. So you can be a corporate entrepreneur. Agriculture entrepreneur is the one who undertakes agriculture activities such as raising and marketing of crop, fertilizers, and other inputs of agriculture. This is right now one of the most fast-paced and growing form of biotechnology startups. I know one of my own classmate had started up a company for agroponics and did a very good job in developing, I think probably in Kadalur area or somewhere in that place for, I think, mushrooms and certain other vegetables and crops. So agriculture entrepreneur, and many of the Indian people had started up the aquaponics or hydroponics in the Middle East, in the desert regions, to grow crops which cannot be grown. So today you can see them as having multi-millionaires. So you can even take up agriculture entrepreneurship, knowing what right direction you can be. You can be a technical entrepreneur by giving ideas to how to develop a particular program. This will be basically, you could be a consultancy. You have how a product can be marketed, how a product can be developed, or when there's a chance, when there's a product that needs to be revised, or that product needs to be seen through, you can provide your technical expertise. So consultancy services, you can very well open it once you are having a good experience in that particular field. A non-technical entrepreneur is the one who is developing alternative marketing solution and distribute. This is basically these companies which are channelizing or distribution services. So many of these pharmaceutical companies have distributors who open up a company just to procure materials or medicines from a pharmaceutical industry and sell it to the hospital. So you can open up a business like that also. And a professional entrepreneur is a person who is interested in establishing a business but does not have interest in managing or operating once it's established. So what you do is you develop a company, and once it's developed, you hand it over to the concerned people or board of directors, and then you move on to develop other new projects. So this, you could choose what you want to be, just not restrict to being a CEO or a marketing, a business, a CEO or a managing director. So you have many options in entrepreneurship in itself. So see if you can get the right funding to start up a company, to put forth your idea to develop a company. Go ahead. To be honest, when my company in Oman started up, I was the starting employee of it. So you see, it was a great experience that I had, because I was handling business development, marketing, sales, and for logistics. So I had an experience in all the parts. So I had that kind of an entrepreneur experience too from my previous company in Oman. And you have a lot many push factors, to start up as an entrepreneur. So for example, you're not satisfied in your job, you have a job loss, you are unemployed, you got a career setback, and immigration status, language barrier is there, and certain times family income, you got to support your family, which you cannot do by working. So you want to start up something which can get you enough to run a family, and you have salary issues with your job. So probably you want to quit and start up something on your own, so you can be master of yourself. You will be, you will be responsible for what you are doing. So these are the push factors, and your pull factors would be, you are literally wanting to achieve something in life. You are, wanting to, focus on something where you want to control your business. You want to have an intentionality, that is, you have a proper intention of developing something. So you have a lot many push and pull factors that can help you to become an entrepreneur. So if you are really having the mindset to start up something right from the beginning, put down the ideas, see how you can manage them, meet new people. This is what I say even to, this is what I have been, I've learned, and my managers and my directors have, told me, meeting new people will definitely help you broaden the aspects of your career. So you meet new people, you get new ideas, you discuss with them what you are planning, they give you inputs. So it is a huge opportunity. So if you can speak to people, you can develop your ideas, learn from them from their own experiences. So scope of an entrepreneur in biotechnology, as I said, you can get into an industrial biotechnology. Like for example, you can open a small fermenter reaction in itself, where you can develop for antibiotics, fermentation reaction for biopharmaceuticals, or you can go into fermentation where industries such as alcohol industries. So you have lot many applications. Medical biotechnology, where I've actually worked in, it's a huge application where you can get into laboratory diagnostics. You can develop chemicals for contrasts. Chemicals and contrasts. So it's a huge industry. Agriculture, I said, aquaponics, hyper crop development, crop enhancement technologies, chemicals and enzymes. You can start up something as simple as, for example, a hand sanitizer. This is nothing but an application of biotechnology, because you have alcohol, you know how much the concentration, you know how much the contact time of an alcohol to the surface should be. You can develop it, you can start something as basic as an alcohol, hand sanitizer. And you can see today companies which have started just with hand sanitizer are made, it's like rags to riches stories. They have just started with sanitizer, and today they have made a mark. And enzymes, for example, in detergent industry and all, there are a lot many enzymes that are being used, like proteases are used in the washing detergents itself, which we are not aware of. But if you actually get into an industry and see and learn, it will really help you, and you can start something on your own for and from the basic itself. You don't have to go into a high level. Right from the basics, you can start, and you can see how far you can actually go, because chemical industries, especially for disinfectants, are a huge, because every hospital requires, every workplace requires, every lab requires. So you have a lot many, you have a huge scope in case if you're going for an entrepreneur, and you have formulations on the web itself from the World Health Organization. You can take up the formulation, get some raw materials, make up, give them for testing to various labs for getting them accredited. And once you have got the proper certifications, you can do you can market your product. So it is a huge scope. And bioinformatics, as I said, it is another field where you can actually use your skills, because every software, every equipment in a lab that runs on bioinformatics. And today what we have, gene editing tools such as CRISPR are based out of bioinformatics. So it is another huge field where you can develop your own software if you're really good at your IT skills. You can make your own software. For example, in our lab itself, we are using Rasmol software. We are using many softwares for protein engineering, for getting structural details. You can use them, develop them, and market them. So it is also another huge field which I found as that many people have actually developed. And the above mentioned are just a few options. It is quite exhaustive. You can list n number of applications where you can develop yourself as an entrepreneur in biotechnology. Yes, and Indian biotech startups that have made it big. Once you say an entrepreneur, when you say a biotech company, yes, I do understand. You get the name as Biocon. That is, yes, they have made a big mark in the industry. But apart from that, there are so many companies which we are not aware of unless until you actually Google them. You will find out what they actually do. So you can see Xcode is there, Map My Genome, Oncosystem Diagnostics, C6 Energies, Pandorum Technologies. So you can see in the past 10 years, from the past 10 years, the number of companies is just, I've listed 10 of them, but actually there are hundreds of companies. If you write Google out, you will be able to find them. So please do, see if you can get internship in such companies, learn from them and see where you can place yourself in terms of an entrepreneur or in terms of your career. And a short experience to what I have been seeing in the, as I said, in the previous, in Oman, I was actually given an opportunity to develop a medical equipment company. So we had a very limited capital, and we had to compete with the existing companies also. So we had a huge challenge to first set up the company, to get in products from our manufacturers, such as I started with the lab division, where I was handling for laboratory hematology analyzers these ELISA readers and for toxicology readers. So we started off with something similar for lab, and then I started divisions such as for MRI contrast. You have these MRI machines where you need to do it for a contrast. As simple as the staining technique, we use stains in the lab to find out and to differentiate between different microns. Similarly, an MRI contrast is used for staining within the body to differentiate and different parts of organs in the body and to give a clear picture. It itself is a huge industry, MRI contrast. If you can Google and see, you can see the amount of income that an MRI contrast company generates. And I was able to, meet the inventor of MRI, Dr. Demadian, in UAE, when there was a meet for the, during our Global Health Expo. I was able to meet him also. So that gave me a huge, experience when I spoke to him, got to know so much from him. So you can see that the industry is just not limited to a few segments. It is so vast. And then we faced many challenges, and finally in span of 3 years we were able to achieve break evens, and we were handling reputed manufacturers across the globe. And that is what I say, never always give your best in a difficult situation, and even if there's a negative outcome, you will be able to understand what the business process is and develop your skill that will definitely help you establish yourself in the future, because what you learn is never going to stop. Definitely there is going to be a setback in most parts of your life. You got to overcome that. I myself had setbacks. From the time I left the college, I was struggling to get a job in biotech industry, where many of my colleagues were already placed, well settled in IT industries. I took up the challenge. I had huge career blocks, but I was still adamant and I was still passionate of going to work in the biotechnology company. And finally, I made my mark today, and I am really happy to do what I am doing. So, it is really nice to actually, have an opportunity to yourself in the biotech industry. So, and I would like to just give you a small example for, in terms of an entrepreneurship itself. If you want to really start up a company where you are making something as simple as blood collection tubes or pipettes that you're using in lab. When we use our pipettes in lab, many of us don't even know who the manufacturer of the pipette is. We just go to the lab, take the micro pipette it out, discard those pipette tips, and we really don't know who the manufacturer. But if you really see, many of them are actually Indian manufacturers, and as simple as micro pipettes are actually a huge industry, because all across the world, right from the labs in FDA to the labs in Europe are actually still using these micropipettes that are manufactured in India, the blood collection tubes manufactured in India. And it doesn't mean that you have to literally set up an industry or a factory. You have your idea, you can approach a company, which is all, a factory, you tell them this idea, they make for you in your name, something that we call that as OEM, original equipment manufacturer, where you give your plan to the existing company or a manufacturer. They make that product for you in your company name, and you can just market it out. So it doesn't really mean that you should have a huge, machines and to set up. As simple as you just approach to the company which is already having the existing tools, pay them, get them in your name the product, and you can sell them. So you can make a big deal out of it. So there's always an opportunity if you're really wanting to go ahead and strive in the field of biotechnology. So thank you for listening, and it was really a nice session. So if I'd like to make it a little interactive. So if you got any questions, anybody from the department, I'm really happy to answer them. Renuka ma'am has my number. You can contact Renuka ma'am, or even Shri Kumar sir. I probably would have my number. You can take my number, and if you have any plans or any hurdles or anything, if you really want to know what you want to overcome, you can let me know. I can help you in, if I am able to help you out from my end to see how we can resolve. So I'm always there, and this is something which I really look forward to speaking, and I'm really thankful to the Department of Biotechnology, my teachers, our HOD, Dr. Shri Kumar sir, Renuka ma'am, and all our faculty for giving me this opportunity to actually speak. And I hope I could do justice to the time that I had to explain to you the career opportunities, to explain to you on the entrepreneurship skills, and I hope from my own experience you could get, or at least take some part of it to motivate yourself to see what you want to do. And I really say, if you are able to do your masters, please go ahead and do it. And if you're, and it doesn't mean you have to do abroad. If you're able to do it in India itself, more than welcome. And now Dr. Shri Kumar sir has actually said that our college itself is having PhD programs. So very well, it doesn't matter where you actually do it. And at the end of the day, once you have done with your MTech or MS, to what industry or what company you are working for is actually matters. So please do masters and have a continuous education. So once you're done with your BTech, finish off your MS, PhDs, then get into a working field, because if you have breaks in between, probably you might do your BTech, work for 2 years, then get into an MS program. Yes, you can do, but you should be confident and keep yourself updated in such aspects. So, and I'm really thankful, and please do learn your subjects, right from the basics, because every part of the application and biotechnology are the basics that you are right now learning in the in our program. So thank you so much for everything, and I'm really thankful to my staff, department, and everybody. So thank you so much, sir. And probably I would ask Alfred to take over.
Yes, sir, sure, sir. Thank you, sir, for this wonderful session and enlightening us on the topic entrepreneurship and career opportunities in biotechnology. So actually, we have few questions from the participants.
Yes.
So shall we go, sir?
Yeah, and before I actually go ahead, sorry, I just missed out a point. Many of you are actually in the final year and who are going for MS right now, correct, Alfred?
No, so actually there are participants from all the years, so like it's involved like all 4 years.
So the 4th year students are also present, correct, and who will be passing out and be going abroad right now, correct?
Yes, sir, sure, sir.
Great. So I have actually, from Randox, kind of, one second, I'll just tell you. Where was that? Yeah, we have a special offer for the students who are actually going to UK. This is only for United Kingdom. Students who are going only for the United Kingdom. I make myself clear. See, now to go to United Kingdom, you have to do an RT-PCR over there for, and you have to quarantine there for 10 days. This is the actual protocol right now. So, and the cost of doing an RT-PCR in United Kingdom is almost 120 to 180 pounds. It is huge, and it is extremely expensive. So I've spoken to my company, and what they did was they have provided me with a coupon code wherein I can share it to the students who are going to UK. They can use those coupon codes to book a test from Randox, and they'll be getting it at a very, at half to half price, almost like 32 pounds they'll be getting. So it's a huge difference. So anybody who's going to UK, please do get in contact with me. I will help you out. So probably, Alfred, if you can send me your email, and I'll speak to Dr. Shrikumar sir and Renuka ma'am also on this.
Yes, sir, sure, sir. I'll send my email to you, sir.
Yes. So yeah, we can go ahead with the Q&A session. That'll be great.
Yes, sir. There's a question that is there any internship program available in your company, sir? Like where students
actually,
can go?
yes, there are internship programs, but not in India. It is in UK because we have 4 factories across the globe. 2 in US, 1 in UK, and 1 in India. But the Indian factory, it is just for quality control programs. But actual internships are only provided in the UK. So, and in fact, there is a, they are literally recruiting now interns in United. So probably students who are going to UK can try out in Randox. I can share the career link path. They can, join the the internship programs in Randox in United Kingdom directly.
Yes, sir. And the next question is, how far it's good in a longer run if we would have chosen our career with interdisciplinary engineering branches like biochemical and metabolic engineering or bioinformatics, which is not even like a traditional wet lab research career.
Exactly. This is where I was telling you, it doesn't have to be as when somebody says biotechnology, the first thing that runs to the mind is somebody who's working in a lab. It doesn't have to be. You can work in an interdisciplinary field, as I said, bioinformatics. You can go even into sales and distribution. It's a huge potential, and there are so many companies, abroad and even in India, that are developing these fields and softwares where you can. The applications, for example, even a basic application to your say UV spectrophotometer that you have. It is run on the softwares, so you can see the amount of bioinformatics that's played, and you can join even these. I know there's a CCMB in Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology in Hyderabad that is having certain research programs for these interdisciplinary fields. So bioinformatics, and you have in cancer biology, you have in molecular biology. So probably you can check with the CCMB also, because I've been in contact with them too.
Okay, sir. And the next question is like, can you please elaborate on the funding assistance or resources for bio entrepreneurs in India?
Yes, see, as I said, right now, Department of Biotechnology and BIRAC, now these are the official government organizations that can help you in funding. But there are so many other funding companies. For example, even Reliance Industries, they are funding many projects. And if you can, there are biotech parks that have been set up. I know one set up in India, in Chennai itself, in Taisal, there's a biotech park, so you can approach them. There is a department for funding in that place. If I'm not wrong, this is what I came to as an info. So funding is there right now for companies to start up. You can Google out these funding companies and you can contact them. Use Google to the max, because most of your information you can actually get it from them itself. So there are fundings, yes, because many of the companies have actually started in the previous, the recent years. So you have definitely good funding in India right now.
Yes, so thank you. And the final question is that attributes required for a student to get into a biotech industry after graduation. What are the attributes required?
See, it depends on what I say. If you are taking BTech and you're getting into choosing your career directly in the work field, you have a huge option. You can go into any part of the biotechnology field. So you can literally choose. Like I myself, as I said, I did my final year project in CLRI. in leather, and then I went to pharmaceutical, then I did in medical biotech. Now I'm back to molecular company. So now you can choose your field as to what you want to if you have done your BTech. But in case if you have done your masters and your PhD and you have actually done your specialty, at that time you got to understand that what you have taken definitely is in line with the current program of that particular country or that particular place. So for example, if you are going to UK or US, you have chosen up a research in infectious diseases. So definitely you have an opportunity in the field of infectious disease itself. So you got to be strong in your subjects. Definitely you got to update yourself very frequently. As I said, Google is your best friend. You can learn a lot from Google. You can I myself, many a times when I'm stuck, I Google out, I get to know there's so much information on Google. Take them, learn them, and be in contact with be in contact with people, as I would say, to they can provide you guidance, they can help you in knowing things which probably I used to think I know this, I know that, but later on when I used to speak to people, yes, they know more than what we actually know. So speak to people and use Google to the max, and be very strong in your basics, and yeah, that is what I would say, and have good communication skills, because if you do not have the communication skills, you will not be able to present what you want to present. You might be very good in your research, but presenting that particular research to a panel and you do not have proper presentation skills, it wouldn't even be, unless the opposite person understands what you have done, it doesn't make sense. So be very clear in your presentation and your communication skills. This is very important.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for answering the questions of the participants. Now I kindly request Dr. LFA Anandraj to give the vote of thanks.
Hello, sir.
Hello, Harris. How are you?
Doing good, sir.
Happy to see you, Harris.
Very happy to see you all, sir. Very happy, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to have an opportunity to give the vote of thanks on this special day. Every batch will be remembered by a particular student name. 2008-2012 batch is always called as Harris batch. Yes, Mr. Mohammed Harris is a very good student who studied in our department in the year of 2008 and 2012. He is very attentive, disciplined, and sincere student, right? Not only Harris, even his sister, Miss Hannah Sarah, who also studied in our department. She's also as same as Harris. As a teacher, I'm very proud to see you, Harris, who has grown as a senior manager in a reputed company, and also come to know that he is certified community immunity ambassador for COVID-19. As our HOD told, alumnus is always an asset in our department. Student like Harris will be always an asset. We are very proud about you, Harris. I want to appreciate him for making an excellent presentation by sharing his experience and making the Biotalk series very interesting, meaningful, and highly valuable. His presentation clearly reflects his experience in biotech field, and sure, it will be very helpful to the juniors to pursue their career as an entrepreneur in biotechnology. I thank you once again for giving a wonderful speech. It is truly inspiring and it kept us spellbound. On behalf of Department of Biotechnology, I express my gratitude to our Honorable Chairman, Dr. B. Babu Manoharan Sir, our Managing Director, Mrs. S. Jessipriya Ma'am, and our Director, Mrs. Sashi Shekhar Sir, for giving the opportunity to conduct a Biotalk series on the topic Entrepreneurship and Career Option in Biotechnology. I would like to express our deep gratitude to our beloved Principal, Dr. Vaddi Seshagiri Rao Sir, our Dean Ma'am, Dr. B. Parvavadini, for providing a continuous moral support, encouragement, and guidance. I also wish to express my heartfelt thanks to our HOD, Dr. G. Srikumar Sir, and Dr. Renuka Ma'am for organizing this great event. I want to thank Mr. Alfred, who worked behind the scene to make this event successful. I also thank all the participants for patient listening and for maintaining the decorum throughout this meeting. last but not least, I thank Almighty for gracing the successful completion of this occasion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So once again, next week we'll be meeting with another BioTalk series. Thank you.